Did you mute yourself?
Okay. Thank you. Someone pointed out that I had muted myself. Well, oh, good. So we got to start all over. Thank you, that kind soul that brought that out. So good morning, my friends. Today is Friday, May 10th. This is Healing the Heart of America. I'm Stephen Wynn. And today we're going to look at school shootings from the eyes of the heart. It's quite a journey. As soon as we picked the topic yesterday, I started going through it, and all these different perspectives kept coming up. There's a lot of energy inside of this field, and all this energy becomes fuel for us to go deeper within our hearts. That's the real use of this energy. And in the process, the energy gets transformed. We heal the heart of America. So I'm very grateful that you all have joined me both here in person and online. And let's just begin, as we always do, by sitting up straight, as comfortable as possible. Very difficult to meditate if you're feeling uncomfortable, so comfort is the first priority here. But the straighter we can sit up for an energetic meditation, the more powerful it becomes. So just begin by taking notice of where you are this morning. How do you feel in your body? How does your body feel? What's the quality of your mind like? If you're noticed, think back during the last, hour or two, however long you've been up. How bright are your senses today? How alert, how aware? And we do that just to get a baseline for where we are. And wherever we are, could you give yourself some love? Some love and approval. Just gratitude for where we are, to have a body on this plane of existence. We sometimes feel like, oh, how can I get out of here? And yet, here we are. There's a reason for us to be here, and we want to honor that. So let's start by connecting to our hearts by putting our hands, folding our hands over our hearts, and just check to see. Just check to see. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat in there, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. And just be with your heart. And now let your hands come down, sitting comfortably in your lap. And just notice after a minute, 2 minutes of sitting with our hands in our heart, how has your experience changed? What's your state like right now? Does your mind quiet down? Whatever it is, and just open your eyes, by the way. Take a look around the room. Notice that you're completely in a safe place wherever you are. We want to be safe to go down deeply within. And anytime you start to feel unsafe, it's completely appropriate to open your eyes. Open, close, open, close. just to remind the inner part of ourselves, we really are safe. We really are safe. And now let's connect more deeply to our hearts by this process, what we call heart rhythm meditation, where we connect the rhythm of our breathing with the rhythm of our hearts. And eventually we begin to notice the third rhythm of the body, the cerebral spinal fluid, the pumping pulse there, as it goes up and down your spine into the brain. That'll start to connect also. And we begin to connect to the rhythm of all life, of all creation. So we start this by just noticing our breathing. What's easy, what's hard, what's full, what's empty. And when you're comfortable, begin the process of shifting into a very full exhale and a very full inhale. We start consciously breathing. And just notice what your experience is as you begin this process of full inhale, full exhale. We start flooding the system with prana, with energy, with chi, whatever word we want to use. And very full, measured breath, not a quick. And whenever you're comfortable, begin the process of connecting to your heartbeat. Just notice your heartbeat inside. If that doesn't pop up quickly, just feel your pulse on your wrist or your neck, it doesn't matter. Or just come to a rhythm, and I'll use it with the heartbeat. 6 or 8 heartbeats on the inhale, 6 or 8 heartbeats on the exhale. Full inhale, full exhale. And at a certain point, let's begin just breathing directly into our heart. We have the flow of air that comes in through our nose, fills the lungs. But there's also a wave of energy that comes in with every breath. And that can come in separately. It can just go directly into your heart. So just breathe into your heart and out of your heart. Full inhale, connecting to your heartbeat. And by the way, if it's hard to feel your heartbeat, you might try holding your breath for 10, 20, 30 seconds, and pretty quickly you will feel your heartbeat. And every day we'll just add one little practice so you get a sense of all the variety that can happen with this practice. It's very deep. I'm very grateful to Pran and Susanna Baer who brought this out by studying the Desert Fathers, the Desert Mothers. And today I'm going to suggest that you inhale into the back of your heart and exhale out the front of your heart. Just try it. Play with it. You know the saying, I've got your back. It's a sense of someone protecting us the backside. And what happens is, the back of our heart is this open doorway for the celestial beings to pour forth their knowledge, their energy, and their love into our hearts, for us to receive from them. And then we breathe it out forward to infuse it into our world, into our life, into our day. When I was preparing for this course, I had the extraordinary gift of having two beings show up and volunteer to sponsor this course spiritually. One was Nurun-Nisa Inayat Khan, the firstborn child of Hazrat Inayat Khan, the great Sufi master who brought Sufism to the West. She brought in the goddess of liberty, just such an extraordinary presence. And so I am invoking them now, today, publicly, with gratitude for their assistance. But whoever is deeply connected to you, just take a moment and invite that energy, that presence of theirs, to pour in through the back of your heart, and then breathe it out into your world. It's a great gift to the world to bring this presence into this vibration. Always keeping in touch with the heartbeat. And now that we're in our hearts, possibly you're feeling that connection with some divine being, some expanded presence added to our own presence. Let's start the process of infusing our daily life, the challenges in our life, with the presence of the divine, with the energy, the subtle celestial energy that opens up doors and heals whatever is available for transformation. So since we'll be speaking of schools today, the school shootings, we're not going there yet. My invitation is to look back into your academic life, into life as a child, going to school every day, or perhaps it's in high school or college, university, whatever level it is, and just check to see if there's anything that you didn't like about going to school. Any teachers that particularly gave you a problem? Any other students that challenged you or didn't respond to you as you wanted? Or your early experiences dating, connecting with the opposite sex, those awkward years in high school, stepping into being the man or the woman that we are to become. And whatever the energy is there, whatever memory is there, could you welcome that up and just check to see if you'd like to change that? Or if you feel unsafe with that? Or if you wished you would have been more loved and approved, to see if you still have this deep desire to be loved that has been unfulfilled in your life. And you find yourself wanting people to hear you and they don't hear you, or wanting people to respect you still and you don't feel like you get that respect. I don't want to put that into you, but if it's there, we want to pull it up and just check to see, do you feel that anywhere in your body? Do you feel any sensations when you think about that memory of something you don't like or that challenges you, or you want to change? Or maybe you just feel it in your general feel, just a general feeling of discomfort, dis-ease. Whatever it is, could you welcome up this feeling? It's a voice that we've put there. We created it. And it's not bad. It's actually a great gift, full of energy for our use. Would it be okay with us if we took that energy and we moved it into our hearts? Just take a minute. Even if it's in the field, collapse it into your heart. If there's a sensation, just allow the energy to move into your heart. And just ask, what divine quality would I like to build in my heart or awaken in my heart? Would I like to be more loving? Would I like to be more compassionate? Would I like to be more free, more lighthearted, more joy-filled? Whatever it is, we want to honor that quality and let this energy shift into that and let that grow within our lives. And when the energy, and here's another one. What did you regret doing when you were a child in school? What do you regret doing when you were in college? Whew, a lot of energy on that one for me. So can we pull that energy up into our hearts and let it shift into the divine quality that we are inviting to awaken within us? What do we regret doing? What do we not like about our education? When were we called on and we didn't know the answer? When were we embarrassed? And if something else is arising in your life right now, absolutely work with that. It doesn't have to be these topics. I'm just suggesting topics. Now, we can't change what happened, can we? But we can change the energy around them. Would it be okay with you if everything that happened during your school years, elementary, junior high, high school, college, that everything that happened simply shifts into a precious memory. Oh yeah, that happened way back then. That happened way back then, and here I am now, stronger for it. So now let's expand this to the field of education today. Because for many of us, education was far more benign. Going to school was far more benign in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s than you might find it today. So let's look at the topic of school shootings. And the first thing is, when we even bring the topic of school shootings up, just check inside to see if there's some sort of fluctuation within your heart, within your energetic field, some aversion, some sense of horror at how could this be happening. We look at school shooting. I think Columbine might have been the first, I'm not sure, but it's one of the most famous of the old ones, and they just seem to keep coming and coming and coming. And check to see if there's some sort of sense of resignation. Like, what can we do about this? And I don't know. And check to see if there's a sense that this is such a big problem. Who am I to have any influence here? And if that's coming up, could you welcome that up into your heart? Let it become light. Let it become love. And is it all right with us if we breathe into our hearts and expand our hearts? Let's just do this a moment. Inhale into our hearts, and as we exhale, expand our energetic body out. My feeling is we need to be bigger to deal with this issue. Inhale into our hearts, and as we exhale, expand our energetic body out. And is it okay with us if we claim our identity as a powerful spiritual being, fully living in our energetic body? It's actually a very powerful, empowering claim. This is who I am, and this whole topic of school shootings is just one more fluctuation in my universe. Is it okay with us if each one of us, as a divine spiritual being, claims this as our own universe? As we let in whatever energy we want to let in, we put out whatever energy we want to put out. And in the process, we dance and play with all the other great spiritual beings in this creation. Check to see if you feel like you're a small player. We think of Jesus and Ram and Krishna and Muhammad and Zoroaster and all these great, great masters and beings. Check to see if you're feeling like you are less than they are? And would it be okay with us if we allowed ourselves to realize that at our core, we are divine beings created from the same infinite source, and allow us to step into the greatness of who we are, honoring the differences in beings, personalities, and directions, honoring the difference in missions that we have implanted within our hearts. Is it okay with us if we take a moment and just allow ourselves to go within our hearts once more and open ourselves to receiving our own divine mission for this life? And most likely, who can say, I don't want to exclude that possibility, but most likely for most people, it takes a while for this to open up. And could you be okay with that? That who we are, incredible divine beings, when we were formed, part of the formation was our own divine mission. And that doesn't mean necessarily famous or extraordinary. It could be quite ordinary and yet extraordinarily spiritual. Whatever we are, let's allow that to come forth now. And from this expanded place, heart expanded, let's take a look at this extraordinary phenomena of school shootings. And let's just begin to feel the energy of it. I think when we do this, we want to look at all the players in the event and the traumas. We want to look at the shooters, these poor kids who are obviously troubled. Many of them are drugged up. They've been bullied. They're miserable in their lives. They know they're going to be killed. And they just are in such pain that they want to make a statement to the world that says something along the lines of, please help, something has to change. What else? Why else would they be doing this so publicly? So just for a moment, let's go within ourselves and allow that energy of extraordinary pain, to whatever degree we can identify with that vibration, let's pull it into our hearts and let it shift out as love, or whatever quality you'd like. Let's just connect with this pain of these shooters and give them love and forgiveness. No doubt what they've done is horrific, will cause pain to children, parents, schools, will scar everyone. And yet, do we want to hold resentment and hate towards them? It doesn't really work for us. It doesn't really help them. Can we go to this feeling of the pain that they are in, so separate, so alone, so bullied, so beaten up, so traumatized, that all they can do is this astounding feat of hatred? And could we forgive them even more? And even more? And even more? And notice that when we forgive, we don't give up something. we move more into alignment with divine energy. We don't go, oh, I'm forgiven. Okay, I'll forgive you for this terrible thing you did. That's not really the essence of forgiveness. There's still a lot of judgment with that. We want to go to this place where we are so big and so filled with love that we see them with the eyes of compassion. And let's move to the parents of these precious school children who've been shot and killed or wounded, perhaps maimed for life. And can we just open up our hearts and hold them in their grief? And check to see if there's any grief in your life that has not yet been resolved. Any pain in your life. And could you pull that up into your own heart? These are parents who will never see these children again, or who will be taking care of them if they've been crippled, damaged, traumatized. And even the parents and the students, parents of the students who survived, all the students who survived are traumatized. Can you pull that trauma, connect with it, just to the degree that you can, into our hearts, just by having that intention? There's a connection of love between us and the parents, the other students, the teachers, the principals, the administrators, the staff, even the janitors who see these kids every day. Just pull that in, be open to it. And is it okay with us if we collectively allow the cause, the discordant energy lurking in the heart of America, to shift this underlying energy? Maybe you feel it directly, maybe we don't. But just by saying yes, it's okay to shift this collective pool of energy. That process starts. And again, this pool of energy, we tend to denounce it and say, oh, how terrible it is that we have that. How terrible it is that there are wounds in the heart of America causing these events, these traumas. And yet, is it okay with us if we can simply redirect this energy to the fulfillment of the vision of America as a spiritual leader of the world? Right now we're the military and economic leaders. The country was founded as a spiritual experiment. Many of the founders wanted to call this the New Jerusalem. They certainly modified it or modeled our country with that intention. Is it okay with us if we start the process of redirecting this pool of energy that causes school shootings to be transformed into the power, presence, and love that will fuel and strengthen our nation to fulfill its dharma? And could we just send to these teachers, to these students, administrators, to the students who have passed, to the parents of all the students, Could we just send them love, compassion? More love and more compassion. And notice as we do this, our own energetic field does not diminish, but it expands. Truly, the more we give, the more we receive. Would it be okay with us if we lived our life as this being that only blesses, never judges, never condemns? It's just an intention. We don't have to try to do that. We just have that intention as a backdrop in our life and allow it to be fulfilled. And can we just take a moment to be grateful for our own lives, grateful for everyone's experience in this country, knowing that gratitude holds the seeds of transformation. Compassion holds the seeds of transformation. And love, always. Love always. So let's pull our energy back into our heart. Maybe, if it's comfortable, put your attention on the soles of your feet so we are fully grounded on this planet, in this physical plane of existence. And when it's comfortable, open your eyes. So now we move into our more interactive side of this process. But by the way, just thank you very much. I could feel how deep this was. I'm so grateful that we're here and we can do this together. I think it's *6 if you want to join the Q&A or the interactive session. All right, I have one pending person. Good morning. It looks like Eileen.
It is. Good morning. Thank you, Stephen, and good morning, everyone. I'd like to ask first, are these recordings available at the moment?
Yes, all the recordings as of yesterday are online on the website.
Okay. And Heart of America, that's it, right?
healingtheheartofamerica.org.
Okay.
And this one probably sometime this afternoon, depends on when I can, have to do some technical stuff. But it should be every day or the next day, each one will be on.
Okay, thank you. During the meditation, when you were working with the students, two things came to mind. One was the whole feeling of judgment, like the whole pattern of judgment and unworthiness, the feeling that the depth of the one that feels so unworthy to be loved, and also not fitting into any system. I felt that in relationship to the meditation of the experience of what was there on a collective level, that they don't know where to fit in.
Would you like to work with that right now?
I would, and I'd also like to bring in, for myself, I need to say this publicly. A number of years ago, about 12 years ago, I had an experience with, when I was working with somebody with the divine feminine that turned up that said, I am the new creation. And the image has never changed. And when you were working with, at the beginning of opening up at the back of the heart, that came to mind to say this out loud again, because that image was androgynous. And it just feels like the heaven here, like what is heaven here, or the new creation here being lived. And I feel like a part of all that's happening in our world, and with what you're focusing on, is bringing up all of that which is limited into what is what is truly is.
Yes. And that goes both ways. We bring what's limited into the unlimited, and we bring the unlimited into the limited.
Yes.
But so is there an issue there for you, or did you just want people need to express that?
Well, I would like to, if there's anything unconscious still in my not saying a full yes to that. Sometimes I can get impatient, and I'd like to, but this was 12 years ago. I mean, that time doesn't mean anything in the world of spirit, but if there's I'm saying yes to it, and if there's anything that I have a resistance to, I'd bring that up.
Okay. So I'm getting more of a charge on the not fitting in issue. Can we start with that one?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm going to ask this for everyone while we're talking to Eileen. So, where do you feel like you don't fit into the world? Where in the past have you felt that way? We're talking to a group of people who are esoteric and mystical. So all of us, by definition, don't fit into the world on one level. Okay? But just where does it impact us emotionally? Where does it challenge us? Where does it create angst within us? And where does it happen for you, Eileen? Where do you not fit in?
Well, I mean, I could go on for an hour and a half of old stories with school. It was just like what the system would say. I think that's not true. That's not true.
Right. So there we go. We're gonna use that phrase there. That's not true. That's not true. So, what comes up? What do you like about hearing that, or what do you dislike about hearing that phrase?
Well, there was I never conformed, but then I got into trouble by not conforming.
So, what energy comes up for you here?
Frustration.
Frustration. Okay, can you welcome up that frustration?
Mm-hmm.
And where do you feel that?
I feel it in the heart.
Good. So can you just put your attention there with that sensation? And anyone else who feels any frustration or not fitting in, same thing. Find where it's located. And what's happening as you just feel that sensation, Eileen?
It softens.
Softens. Is it okay with you that completely softens?
Yes.
And softens even more?
Yes.
And more?
Yes.
Yes. And is it there still in residue, or is it pretty much gone?
It feels like it was really linked into judgment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So, and can you think of a time when you were judged?
Yes.
Yes, and everybody else too. Where were you even judged? Okay. And how did that feel to you?
It felt, I felt diminished,
Diminished.
Yeah.
Yes. So this in the big three issues to sort of like group things together. And these are the three temptations, or the first three chakras, however you want to describe them. This all comes into wanting to be loved, wanting to be heard, wanting to be respected. Okay? So is it okay with you if you take a look at the other person who couldn't hear you, who couldn't respect you, and do you notice you're judging them?
Yes.
Yes. It always goes both ways, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. And we judge them right back. So would it be okay with us if we allowed the other person to be equal to us? Is it okay with you, Eileen?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. And could we allow that some more? And in that equality, is it okay with us if we move and allow oneness to arise? I'm just like this person. They judge and I judge. We all do it. We all do it. It's sort of like we're built to do it. And it comes out of our wounds. We all have these wounds causing that. So would it be okay with us if we hold that judgmental energy and just let that go? Who have we been judging? Whoever it is, can we just let that go? Let that go some more. So, Eileen, what happens to you as you let go of that judgment? What's your experience?
It really is softening, because I know I came in with that as a big pattern in my life.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
softened. Is it okay if it softens some more?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And that, we tend to hold on to old patterns just out of habit. Is it okay if you just let that go completely?
Yes.
So imagine never, ever, ever judging again. How does that feel?
Very expansive, open.
Very expansive and open. And let's go to the other side of that. Imagine always, always, always judging. How does that feel?
Ugh. Yeah.
Right, everybody get that ugh? Okay, so could we welcome up that ugh? Okay? Welcome it up. Wherever we feel it, pull it into our heart. Let that go. But just to state what you may not be thinking, haven't we been living all of our lives judging all the time? And aren't we just okay anyway? Would it be okay with you, Eileen, if you were judging all the time and yet internally you were experiencing complete peace?
Yes. Yes. I can feel the light behind
Yes.
the judgment, witnessing it.
Yes. So would it be okay with all of us if we sat in this place of complete peace and let go of judging our personality? Yeah. That's really okay, isn't it? It's okay with you, right, Eileen?
Yes, it is.
It is okay. It's okay. So who would we be if we were totally peaceful and either we judged or we didn't judge? It's just a question. What would your life look like? So would we just be at peace if we judge or we don't judge? the odds are we're going to walk out of here and say, oh, I don't like that, cigarette butt on the ground. Right? We'll do something like that. But it's okay. We're living in our heart, radiating peace in the process, and this just happens on the surface of our life. This is how it happens. I'm just telling you. You look at all the great masters, and they all have their preferences, things they like and don't like, and they're just like we are. And this is how it works. We have this idea in our minds of what it looks like to be enlightened or to be free or whatever the phrase we want to use. And it's just a story. It's just a story. We make it up thinking, aha, that's heaven. That's heaven on earth. But it all happens inside whatever our personality is like, whatever our body is like. Eileen, where else do we need to go here? Or are you feeling pretty good?
That's great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for bringing this up. Really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else have a... Will, we have someone live. Will, come on up. Join the party up here. So, Will, what's going on?
Well, before we go into it, I need to describe with a little bit of detail what I realized during the session.
This sounds like a game. Eileen, can you mute yourself? It's a *5. I'll do it for you. There you go. Go ahead, Will.
Okay. You were leading us to think about the times that we had been, the word that comes to me is dishonored in some sense when we were in school or as a child. And as I went through that process with you, with everyone here, I realized that I remembered those times and remembered when I had been dishonored, when my perception had been dishonored, and when I had been taught to not feel confident in my own perception, in my own reality. And then I remembered that how that led me to paradoxically to a feeling of arrogance. And in that feeling of arrogance, I saw myself, I hate to admit this now, but I saw myself as being somehow, in some respects, equal to Jesus and people like Jesus.
Nice.
And then as my life went on, I began to realize how utterly arrogant that was. And I began to experience more of what Jesus is like and more of what other enlightened beings are like, a little bit of that. I realized how arrogant, utterly arrogant I had been. And so but then now, as I was sitting here, as we were going through this process, I realized that arrogance, that realization of arrogance, that is in a way a judgment also, and that in a way, along with being equal to all the people who have been school shooters and all the people who have been ruthless dictators and all the people who have been created so much misery in the world, I'm also, in a way, equal to Jesus. and Zoroaster and Moses.
Yes.
But both of these things are true.
So, Will.
And that's one thing I haven't come to grasp yet, how they can both be true at the
Okay.
same time.
Good. Is that what you want to work on?
Yes.
Okay. So, perfect. Because this is time for working, if we can do that.
Yes.
So, first of all, can you see that your mind is trying to figure this out?
Absolutely.
Yes. And does your mind have an answer?
No, not really.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it can come up with other ideas.
It can come up with theories, right? That's what the mind does. And listen, it's fun to laugh at the mind because it's fun, but it's really useful also, right? So we want to love the mind, but we want to understand what it's good for and what it's not good for. So in this case, can you see you keep going back and asking your mind this over and over again? And the mind doesn't have an answer. And what the mind says is, why are you asking me this? Go beat yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Go beat yourself up, because you're not smart enough to figure this out. So, is it okay with you if you let go of trying to figure this out?
Barely.
Barely. So, could you just make that decision? Because why would you keep doing it if there's no answer? This is the analogy I used the other day. You look in a file folder in a filing cabinet and there's nothing in there. You keep going back again and looking.
Well, I keep telling myself if I keep figuring it out, there'll be an answer. I'll figure it out.
So good. You're welcome to do that. Okay. Now, would it be okay with you if instead of running around in your mind, you let go, trying to figure it out, and allow the wisdom of your heart to come forth?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a yes. Everybody else see where you do this in your lives? How do I lose weight? Oh, try this. We don't, whatever it is. We loop with the mind, and the mind has no answers. Mind has information. Our mind has data. Really useful thing. But wisdom it doesn't have. So, it's okay. Let's make a decision again. It's just an intention to let go of figuring this out and allow the wisdom of your heart to come forth. Right. Now, I see the sigh there. What did you feel then? What are you feeling right now?
It's really indescribable. It's really indescribable.
Such relief when someone goes deep, isn't there? You all feel that? You see how it went from his head, goes to this indescribable place, and something happens to all of us. So thank you for doing that, Will. So is it okay with you if you simply keep returning to your heart whenever you get into your head and allow the heart on its own time frame to reveal this wisdom to you? Yes. That's okay, isn't it? And can you sense how powerful it is to live in your heart? Yes. Yes. And do you need to go anywhere else right now? No. Thank you very much, Will. Thank you very much. Patrick.
Just want to ask about a really physiological experience.
You want to come up here where people can see if they can hear you more easily? And by the way, I know we're running late. I take no offense if people leave. Okay? No offense whatsoever.
Want to do this Monday?
No.
All right.
The energy's up. You guys up for it? Yeah.
All right. All this is great work, by the way. I came here 30 plus years ago to do this kind of work. At the time it was called the Super Radiance Program, and it was to be done in groups, with the Golden Domes. I've kind of lost confidence in that whole program So when this came up, I thought, oh, this is good. I'd like to rededicate myself to the mission. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The experience I'm having around this is all the light work and everything, working with the heart seems, on one level I'm getting it, but my personal experience is I can't take a full deep breath. And there's a block that runs from my throat into the chest, the solar plexus, and the heart. I'm having trouble getting with the program to the extent that I'm able to feel the heartbeat and time the breath to that. And the way I'm dealing with it is I just count.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to ask about is there's this really great big block, and it has physiological expression.
Yes.
Difficulty in taking the full deep breath, a lot of digestive difficulties, low energy, chronic fatigue.
So can I give you the good news?
Okay, good.
Good news is that as you work through this, and you will notice an astounding change in your life. Okay? Because all of this is energy being blocked. And suddenly, when that's opened up, you'll have access to that energy.
Good.
That's really how it works. Okay?
Good. This has been going on for at least 25 years.
Yes, good. That means we're working with really deep stuff.
Right.
And is it okay with you if we process this gently?
Yeah, let's try that.
Let's try that. Okay.
Hammering on it hasn't.
Right. So hammering hasn't worked. And hammering is rarely the way of the heart. All right. I wouldn't say never, but let's just so. First of all, is it okay with you if you let go of judging this blockage?
Of course, what I want to say is yes, but I want to be completely honest in saying yes.
I got you. So, in other words, there's a part of you can say yes and a part of you is saying no. Right. Okay. So, does the judging and not liking of this blockage cause it to change?
No.
No,
Absolutely.
it does not. Okay. So once we're clear with that, would it be okay for you to welcome up all that energy you spent judging and hating and disliking this, and just either let it go or let it transform into some divine quality?
I would absolutely love that.
So when people say, I would love that, it means I don't believe that's going to happen.
Okay.
Gotcha, right? Right. All right. So is it okay if you make that choice to let go of all that energy, that judgment, that hatred? Did you set that intention? Is that okay with you?
I have to be honest with you, I'm having trouble with it.
Okay, so good. So just take a look at this.
Yeah.
So what we're asking is for an intention.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking you to promise me that you're going to fulfill that intention. I'm not asking for you to do anything with that. I'm just asking, what's the deeper wish here? What's the deepest wish here? Is it for smoothness and health and openness? Or is it to hold on to what you have? And by the way, you can answer either way. Okay? Because there's a part of you that's holding on for a good reason. And it's protecting something. Does that make sense?
It does. And, the last time you asked the question, I actually got a yes to the positive side of this.
Good. So it's okay to welcome up this energy and allow this to be healed. It's okay.
Yeah.
So can everybody see that, all these things that might seem obvious to us in our own life. I mean, we all look at, if I can say this about you, Patrick, it's easy for us to look and say, well, why wouldn't you want that to be healed? But inside of each one of us, there are these defense mechanisms that have a reason. We put them there. We want to honor them. We don't want to beat them up and say, you're ridiculous. Right? We want to love them. They are a part of us that wants to be heard. Now, I'll tell you, there's a thing in the Taoist model of life from China. They say, oh, you've got 5 yin organs and you've got 5 yang organs. You know, it's like an impulse of a thought has 10 impulses to a thought, something like that. And all of these organs have their own voice. They all have their own intelligence. And it's the job of the heart, this is all Taoist, it's the job of the heart to unify these voices. And so there may be a part of your body that's saying, wait a second. It might be your lungs saying, wait a second, I am not ready physiologically to take a full breath. You know? And so we have to honor that. Everybody get where I'm going here? We want to love these voices, and that's the gentleness of this approach. So, is it okay with you, let's go back to the energy here, for you to love all the voices or all the parts of you that have kept your body the way it is for the past 25 years? Could you just appreciate that they have their own intelligence? Okay, and we have the intelligence of the mind, which is very powerful and profound, but it doesn't necessarily see everything the way your body does. Okay? So could you give your body intelligence, some love and approval? Is that okay with you? That's a yes.
Yeah, that's it.
People on the phone can't hear you.
Yes.
That's a yes. Good. So is it okay with you if you let go of disapproving of your body?
Struggling with a little.
Okay.
All right.
It's okay. No, it's okay. So there's still some disapproval.
Right? I guess there is.
Okay. So could you welcome up that disapproval?
Mm.
And could you love that disapproval?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you love it some more? Yeah. And what happens as you love that disapproval? Does it stay or does it go?
Well, it does feel like it's, you know, if I'm honoring that disapproval, my sense is it's beginning to
Yes.
go away.
Yes.
Straight now.
So, which would you rather be? The tyrant of your body or the loving friend of your body?
Mm.
The loving friend from the gesture. Okay. So could you love that disapproval some more?
Yeah, I can do that.
Good. Good. And how does that feel now?
Good. Feels like I'm going to have to do it for a while, but feels good.
That's a bit, now this is very good. Is it okay with you if you have to do it for a while?
No, I want it all now.
Seriously, is it okay if it takes a while?
I wasn't completely joking when I just said that.
Okay, I know. That's one voice, but there's another voice that wants to be gentle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So and taking a while is a part of gentleness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's say it takes a year. Any reaction to that?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, so could you welcome with that oh no?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you've had it for 25 years, right?
Yeah.
So imagine it does take a year. You have to go through all 4 seasons with it. That's not so bad, is it really?
No, I can do it. I've obviously been getting along like this for a very long time. I'd like to shake it off, but
I get it, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay if it takes a little.
It's okay.
While. Yes.
Now, is it okay if it takes 3 months?
Yeah, that would be fine.
That'd be fine. It's okay if it takes a month.
Yeah, that would be fine.
That'd be very fine, all right? And a week?
Yeah, a week would be very good.
Okay, and today?
Yeah, today.
Okay, it's okay what happens today. Good. So how is your body feeling right now?
Well, there is a sense that there's a sense of heat. I would call it embarrassment and shame, but whatever that is, it feels like, yes, something has been allowed to at least be expressed and start rising up and going out.
All right, so good. So everybody see what happened here? He has some heat, energy rising up, and he puts a label on it called embarrassment and shame. Right?
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's his feeling. But it's possible to, let me ask you this, would it be okay with you if you let that energy come up and just see it as energy rather than putting the judgment on it?
Good.
Is that okay with you?
That's very okay.
That's very okay, yeah. And that's just a habit. Okay, how many years have we been judging and putting labels on energy? Is it okay with us? Is it okay with you, Patrick?
Yeah.
If you become an energetic being, loving and enjoying and playing with every variety of energy?
Yeah.
That's okay, isn't it?
That is okay.
Everybody can go there? Yeah. That's part of the process. And is it okay with you if learning how to master this energy, this blockage in your heart and physiology, your chest, if this is the doorway to your stepping into the energy of your heart in an open and expanded manner? Is that okay with you?
That would be completely okay.
That'd be completely okay, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So could you give some love and approval to this part of your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
And because I see that is the gateway.
It is the gateway.
I need to do that.
That's the gateway. And it's a gift to find your gateway, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Good. So is it okay with you if every time you find yourself not quite taking a full breath or something's irritating like that, you go, ah, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because that's like the flag that says, oh good, time to come back into my heart. Right? And can you see, or could you allow all that gratitude to be healing for you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different energy than judging it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what I'm inviting you to do is have a new habit here. Let go of the judgment, step into the gratitude. Everybody else get this? Okay. So that's the process. And could you just allow that to happen naturally?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing to do now.
All right. Anywhere else we need to go here?
Let me get back to you.
that means no. For right now means no?
It does mean.
Okay, but
and thank you.
Well, thank you, and you're very welcome to come back up here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys, it's now 10:15. I see one hand raised. I'd sort of like to close it off. You want to say something else? Real quick? Yeah, let's hear it.
I've been doing the last 10 minutes where I'm going to suggest that
You're walking pretty well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been sitting, so walking is a bit strange. Anyway, so along with Patrick, I have a disability that I have come to understand is located in my solar plexus. And I listened very carefully to a fabulous chakra healer whom I heard about, or actually heard an hour session with.
So just a moment. No. You guys, we all tend to tell 5-minute stories.
No, this is
okay.
great.
No, but I'm just making the rules here. No 5-minute stories.
Yeah, it's not a 5-minute story.
All right, let's hear it.
15-second story.
All right.
On I heard it on Mind Valley, fabulous chakra healer, and she suggested this procedure, which I'm going to mention. It's just a procedure. You have, everything you said about breathing into the heart has been this way, in, out, into the back, out the front, whatever, okay? This procedure is from the base to the crown on the in-breath, and from the crown to the base on the out-breath.
We'll get there.
It's very simple, and what it does is it runs the breath past every one of the internal chakras, and we don't have to worry about whether or not anything's getting healed. It doesn't produce sensations particularly. It just kind of enlivens it.
All right.
All right?
Thank you, Alan.
Well,
thank you very much.
It's cool, by the way. I mean, I feel fabulous. Okay. And I have a problem which I have to deal with in my solar plexus, and it seems to address it quite a lot just doing it in 10 minutes.
All right. All right.
Right? Was that quick?
Yeah, it was quick. Thank you very much. All right, so you guys, now of course we saw that we dwindled, which is fine. But thank you all very much. Thank you all, everyone on the phone still. And you want to pick a topic for Monday?
True love.
True love.
It's never too late. The first two letters add UMT.
I'm sorry?
Take the first two letters of true and add UMT.
What, you guys want to do Trump again?
Oh,
we did that the first day. What did you suggest?
A war machine.
The war machine.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Tomorrow?
No, Monday. Just weekdays.
Make a list.
So we could do the war machine and corruption.
Well, that war machine is corrupt.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do war and the war machine. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. God bless you all. Let's end this here. So, all right.
Great weekend, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stephen.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.